Hopefully everybody can hear me. So I'm gonna obviously talk for a couple more seconds and then hopefully you guys will be able to say whether or not you can hear me. So hola, 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 hola. See who's here. Showing up so far. We got Mudnut. Mutna is working crazy on diamond painting projects. She did tell us at the beginning of the month that she was going to be entering 9 different collabs, or 10. I think she's up to now, but I think at the time she said 9. And I did know that she was working on, I think, 6 or something like that. She is working on 9 different diamond paintings across 10 diamond painting collabs and things. I do like that. Thank you very much, Miss Tammy. I do like that a lot of diamond painting collabs have kind of loosened up some of the requirements when it comes to like the diamond paintings themselves. You're able to use like one concept across multiple collabs, and I like that a lot. When they first started, 10 events with 4 of the 9 whips. See? So she has 5 works in progress that aren't associated with any 10 of these events. Nut is a girl after my own heart. I think I currently have 7 unfinished works in progress. You guys know I'll start, you know, put the long as you plucked on them, that's the start. And so I've had like over the last my last actual completion when I was sitting down actually diamond painting on a regular consistent basis was 2023. Going into 2024, I felt the need to do a little bit more with my clay. And so I didn't, especially after the beginning of the year with My Love is in the Air, the blinging in the new year. Um, and then I did work on a canvas that Berta got me and the sisters for 2023's Get Your Weird On. And then come April that was our first year for Splish Splash Spring Bash. Lizzie hates the name. She thinks it's too long, so I laugh almost every time I say it. So then coming into, after spring, like going into May of 2024, I just didn't get a lot done. I might start again, as long as you get a couple of plucks down for me, that's I'm working on. Oh, I'm working on. And then, hey, Matt, what's up? So then towards the end of 2024, you guys all know the struggles that I went through. So obviously there wasn't a lot of diamond painting going on then either. But um like, anytime that you're down and out and things aren't going your way, crafting is something that usually brings people up just a peace and a zen and things. So it was completely on my agenda. I just think my mind right now is at a point where I want to try a lot of newer different things. So I got challenged last year by Lizzie. You guys, if you followed last week, the week before, and our morning laugh show, which we do every other Saturday morning, you know that Lizzie challenged me to just complete a diamond painting last year. And I completed 2 paint gem canvases. And there was a little debate because Lizzie didn't feel like that stood for a full completion. And I did feel like this is a completion. You didn't say size. Size never came up. So this canvas, all of the grids are filled for this canvas. That's a completion. And my second one, same thing. All of the grids were filled. That's a completion. So I took the win because she didn't qualify. And so because she didn't qualify, the objective, I took the win. I had a completion of my own standard. So this year I challenged her. Thank you, Tammy. This year I challenged Lizzie, and the challenge was And I challenge all of you guys if you can. I think Rhonda from Dip in Time, she goes live just before me. She has accepted the challenge. Um, but I challenged Lizzie. I was trying to come up with something because she diamond paints, and she's like the law around here. You don't do anything wrong diamond painting wise. Or Lizzie, the diamond painting police. She's like the head, the chief, what is the commissioner of the diamond painting police department. She's gonna come after you. So because she's up here with diamond painting, I figured I'd give her more of a challenge. And I told her to reshop her AliExpress double-sided adhesive stash. Now, I know that you guys newer to the diamond painting community, you may not have experienced the headaches that we experienced 2018, 2019, going into early 2020. There was there was some headaches from, just trying to enjoy diamond painting. At one point, we had an era, era, where we called it Drillmageddon. You guys remember that? So they were from, the cost efficient diamond paintings that we purchased multiples of. It wasn't out of the ordinary for somebody to say, I got 31 coming from AliExpress. Or I got 116 coming from AliExpress. It wasn't out of the ordinary to hear that. Even Wish. I know if you guys, you might remember Wish. Um, and so those days gave some early diamond painters a whole lot of headaches. Woo! And because of that, again, I wanted to give Lizzie, the head of the DP police department, I wanted to give her a challenge. So the challenge was to reshop her AliExpress or Wish stash, where all of her double-sided adhesive canvases were, and to start on one. Now she went all out. I think she has a big one, like 50 by 60 or something like that. She went all out. I decided, even though I did not sign on to complete, I didn't sign on to complete, so I want to make sure that I'm highlighting that. I signed on to actually reshop my stash and kind of show you guys what was in one of my portfolios. And that's what I did last week. But I did start on last week and worked on over the weekend two separate sessions. So let's give Miss Tia a round of applause. Um, a double-sided adhesive diamond painting. So I don't know. I'm gonna try and turn it up. Um, Obviously, it's a headache to work on a canvas. Let's see if you guys can see that. So you can see that there was a lot of work done here in the background and things like that. Again, let's give it up. Give me an applause. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thank you, Gail. Tammy says, my first diamond painting was double-sided and square. It took me a long time. Lots of cussing under my breath, but I did it. That's right, you did it. My first one was a round. And I tell you, when I first started rounds, you could pop them out like that. They were just so quick, easy, fast, simple to do. So I couldn't wait. I'm like, yeah. I remember I got one and I was working on it. I'm watching the videos. It looks so fun. It looks so fun, so relaxing. I'm like, oh, I can do that. So next thing you know, I got an order coming. I was the one with 31 coming. I was also the one with 116. Couldn't stop buying. um, so I'm over there and I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I can't wait. They start coming in. I'm doing rounds and things like that. I got one. I don't know what happened, but it was a square. And I was irritated because it looked hard. Like, oh, you got to feel all of this, rounds. We had a little background show. Rounds, we also could see some of the color variations and things like that. And if you were looking through a viewfinder, which is the project cam you guys see right there, that's the viewfinder, being able to see. So when you look through the viewfinder, you can see the picture and stuff. But when you look down at a round raw, it's maybe not as clear, not as detailed and things like that. So I started working on a square. Keep in mind, I had 31 coming. I had at one point 116. Um, and I liked the square. The picture looked clear, not only just in the viewfinder, but also when you look down at it with your naked eye. Even though you saw a whole bunch of just different colors and things, I remember the details started to come together and the picture seemed more in focus. Do you guys remember that? Like, what was your first experience? Where did you buy your first diamond painting? And what was that experience like when you tried to compare rounds versus squares? The other thing I remember is the click. I remember popping into place. And after a while, I kind of wanted to hear that pop into place and things. Now during Drillmageddon, it was hard sometimes to hear it because the diamonds, I do call them diamonds, not drills all the time, but the diamonds weren't all the same shape. And so sometimes you might not get a snap or a click or anything satisfying because they had little nibs coming off of them. It was crazy. Tammy says, I had no idea about double-sided tape. Oh, yeah, double-sided tape is crazy. So, as you can see, it's sticky here, but it's also, some stuck so that the glue stays on the image. Matt says, I've only been a diamond painter a bit over a year, but I have and will still do double-sided adhesive. I kind of like it, actually. I'm going to be honest. It's giving me nostalgia, Matt. It really is giving me a lot of nostalgia. Like, oh, I remember this. And although I have some ugly drills, where did I put them? I had to go get a grinder. It's been a long time. I told the house up. I just got my craft room together. I just found here it is. I just got me a place where I can go and put everything. And now I am being plagued. Let me see if y'all can see this. I'm being plagued by these ugly drills. Can't see it. I got to figure out where the camera be at. You see one on top of the other, they piggybacking like they are in fourth grade. Like they in the fourth grade. Y'all remember those? Such a pain in the butt. Trying to get them to come. Um, anyway, um, I have not been disappointed with, you know, being back double-sided adhesive diamond painting, but the drill quality, I will say, it does still have to be there. Um, Obviously, at the beginning of the month, when we first started this challenge, me and Lizzie talked about, I don't want to put all of the sellers that sell through AliExpress, I don't want to put them all under the bus. There were some diamond painting companies that we felt were still top quality, even to this day. First and foremost, I think we all can applaud Ever Moment. They just always been a pinnacle company with great, diamond painting experience. You'll find I've never found any, but I'm not gonna put, a cape on them and call them a god either. You probably will find some kind of something at some point with all companies, but you don't want every experience you have. If I have 10 canvases from you, I don't want all 10 canvases to have an issue. So again, I've never had an issue with Ever Moment. They're the pinnacle for me. They started off my square experience, and it was a great experience, and it was hard to go back to some of the others. Now, Mayan, MEIAN, they're on AliExpress as well. I always had a great experience with them, and they were my first experience with crystal drills or rhinestones, if you will, in the size for rounds and things like that. So I had, something from that company that I could look forward to. And then I liked Home Fun. Home Fun had three separate companies. One had the red label Home Fun. There was Home Fun. I think they called it official, and then there was just Home Fun. And I bought from all three of them. I started to learn the difference because of the label and things like that. The red, I didn't have any issues with. I had an issue drill wise um, from the other two, and less so with Home Fund Official than just the regular Home Fund. So those, and I have some others. I mean, there was a ton of companies you could get diamond paintings from. That was back when we bought because it was cute. Remember? Oh, that's so cute. Half the time I'm going through all this stuff like I was showing you guys last week, and I'm like, okay, no, I probably would never hang that up. It was cute though. So, we don't buy because it's cute anymore. Not only because the price is not as cost efficient as it was to shop on AliExpress, but we also are ensuring that we're paying quality and top dollar for the canvases that we get, because we're making sure that the artists who rendered them, whose creativity we're appreciating, are paid their due for those canvases. So definitely appreciate you guys telling me what you're working on. Would you ever go back, and what your first diamond painting experience was like? Moving over from there, Mudnut says, I've only had a few double-sided adhesives, had a few hiccups, but nothing really bad, just some tiny rivers in the tape. Now, I know that rivers can be a pain in the butt. As long as these diamonds stick to the canvas, that's what it sounds like. Just in case you guys were wondering. uh, I'm not upset. Um, so I guess rivers have never impacted me. I've seen them on the actual canvas itself, and I know Lizzie, she hates rivers. But I guess once I'm done, boom. And I used to seal. That's the other thing. I used to seal my double-sided adhesives because I was worried about, there would be times where there might be a slick spot and there's no sticky on it at all. You got to go get your Aleenes and you got to put it down, nice thin coat. Then you got to wait for the white to go clear before you start, trying to diamond paint over it. You got to make sure you didn't do too thick a layer. There's a lot of science into it. So I would seal because I didn't want anything to happen to any of those drills that might have been hanging on based on the sticky from Aleene's. So I used to seal, and we talked about this, I think, last week. It might have been a week before. If you were someone who sealed your diamond painting, your double-sided adhesive, what did you use? I always used Mod Podge gloss. I tried one time to use the gloss and glitter. I didn't notice any glitter. It was supposed to give it a sparkle effect. The video online looked good, but it just made my canvas look milky, cloudy milky. And one thing that I did also notice was that it took the natural sparkle that you get when you hold it up and you just look like, ooh, it took that natural sparkle completely out. So it made the drills look flat with whatever sparkle they were trying to put in, plus a milky, cloudy film over it. So I probably, once I get this done, I probably definitely won't be sealing it. Just to kind of show you guys what I'm actually working on. It's Winnie the Pooh. So that is my son, Justin. Justin used to walk around the house. He had this little red obviously we bought it for him. And then he, would take his bottoms off and only walk around with his diaper on. And then once he got rid of the diaper, he just walk around in his little undies. He didn't care. Like, go put some shorts on. I don't want to wear no shorts. He never wanted to wear shorts. And getting him in shoes. Oh my goodness. I thought he grew up like Jungle Boy for a long time. Like, I can't get the boy to put no shoes on. What is up with him? I don't know. Maybe too much. My mom and my dad used to babysit him. My mom at the time and my stepfather, they loved the show, what is it, Al Bundy? They loved that show with Al Bundy. He used to sit, it was nothing. I saw my son a couple of times sit down on the sofa and put his hand out. Where you get that from, TV? Like, kids will pick up on whatever. It's just not the stuff we want them to pick up on. Um, But he just looks like this little Winnie the Pooh. And so when I first seen it, obviously he was an adult at the time, but I still got and was like, oh, I'm gonna make this. I had all these plans and dreams and hopes. I'm gonna go ahead and get it framed. It's gonna be a cute little, and we gonna hang it in your room. And then when you give me a grandbaby, we're gonna put that over the grandbaby's bed. You know, I had plans and things like that. I'm still waiting. Just so this isn't complete. So everybody's still waiting. Uh, Gail says, my first was a round, a gift from my sister. Then I jumped straight into a big square. Woo! Oh man, what's a big square to you? Gail also got it from Wish. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. Hey, Cheryl. Double-sided adhesive, a fright from the past. Yes, double-sided adhesive. Marquita Kiki says that she likes double-sided adhesive. I'm going to assume that that A is for adhesive. Mary, what's up, Mary? Mary says, I've done a few double-sided adhesive. I didn't really have any issues, but I do prefer poured glue. Yes. So it's definitely a blast back into the past. Again, I'm working on about 2018 because I did get my first poured glue in December of 2018. So going into 2019, I think I had a double-sided adhesive package that arrived in 2019, but I don't think I ordered anything more in 2019. In any case, even that package, once it came in, they were filled with things that were on the shelf. So you still got to taste going into 2019. And if you shopped your own stash early part of 2020, you still got to taste Drillmageddon. Uh, you are daring. Yes, I am. I'm daring. Matt says so often pour glue seems kind of iffy. No doubt it's stuck on DSA. Yes, that's true. So obviously pour glue, it is a little bit easier to work with. So I was online with my sisters the other night and I started diamond painting. And one of the things that I remember that I could not do, and I wasn't able to until it started, is when you're diamond painting and you go to put something down, if you putting it on the wrong one, you can easily just kind of move it to the left, move it to the right, even if a few, centimeters. But guess what? You can't do? You can't do that with double-sided adhesive. So I went to try and move. I almost sprained my wrist. I'm like, what? So it was like being stopped by a border or trying to put your hand through a wall. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, oh goodness, this is, I couldn't do nothing but laugh. Everyone's saying hi to Muttnut and Cheryl. Look at that. um, Moving over from there, everyone's saying hi. Hola, Rhonda. So let's see. You doing good? Everyone's saying hi. Matt says, I still always shop AliExpress for weird topics that don't seem to be popular for actual artists to create. I agree. I still do go on there, and I will admit that over the last couple of years, obviously they probably experienced the slowdown, and they probably looked around. They are industry standards, and they said, "Oh, we're losing out on our business, probably to poured glue." And so I know a lot more companies, instead of sending you a double-sided adhesive, they are poured glue with the clear cellophane cover over them. So, um, I don't not advocate for, paying artists and things. But if your budget indicates that you need to shop Amazon, Wish, AliExpress, there's nothing wrong with it. Just, make sure that you have a pleasurable diamond painting experience. Because I am reminiscing. There's a lot of nostalgia coming back. Hola, Kayleen. Hola, hola, hola. Tammy says she used Minwax. I think a couple other people told me when we asked at the beginning of this challenge, what did you use if you sealed? Minwax did come up. Tammy says, I love Winnie the Pooh when I was growing up. Oh, hola, hola. Polyclinic lost for me. Oh, I've used that before also. Only ever seal special projects though. Okay, so you only seal your special projects. I used to buy, create, and give away left and right. So you know the first few years that you diamond painting, if you know a diamond painter and you don't diamond paint, best believe you getting a canvas for every holiday over the next year or two. Birthday, anniversary, Christmas, cookout, you know, back to school. You That's the gift you getting, because we can't keep them, we can't house all of them, so they got to go somewhere. And we made this. We thought about you each pluck. Okay, so because we thought about you each pluck, 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 pluck. You gotta appreciate the gift, praise it, put it somewhere good. I go to houses to this day, you know. My brother had at least a diamond painting or two in every room in the house. Oh, this is for your 10 grandbabies. This, look, you got 3 bathrooms. Put one in here. We got 2 more bathrooms to put diamond paintings in. So you guys know I'm telling the truth. Cheryl says, you have a Winnie? I have a Tweety. Was one of your sons. Aw. 90 by 120. So we asked what the largest diamond painting was. Gail has 90 by 120. Whew, that's a lot. That's a lot. I have a 50 by 142. And I can't say that's my what I call my life's work, but I can't say if I'll ever go that far. I have a ton of princesses. I think out of the 12, I have 6. I have 6 princesses, and I'll tell you right now, I don't know. They gonna stay collectors' items. 5 of the 6 have never been opened. They still sealed, and I know those is worth like 300-400 each. Yep, I got Jasmine. I have all the ones that everybody wanted. So those will probably never be sold. um Let's see, moving over from there. Marquita says, you know, I got help. I got my grandbaby too. Those were icky. So you are saying to go back and leave the improvements in the rear view. You've been renamed to Princess. Look at your name tag. Princess Tia. I have a Dreamer huge, like 5 foot. What? That's a lot. Really? Oh man, that's a lot. 5 foot. I don't know. That's a lot. That's a big diamond. I got the Dreamer. I have a custom in 8 panels that oh, I spelled it wrong. Prince. Oh, I sure do. I'm a thank you, sissy. That's probably been on there for a few weeks. Is that nothing? When I set up my project cam, I'm multiple men, Tia. 5 panel. Wow, that's something else. Let's see. Let me say. Oh, I thought I had my photos in here. I don't have them. Hmm. Well, let's see. I thought I had pictures in here. And I was trying to show you guys, but I have a 5 panel. I showed it last week. Clearly, if you set these up in one, you can't. This is ridiculous. Alrighty. Well, I know now. I set it up in on my phone. And on the phone, I had loaded in all the pictures that I was going to show you guys, but they're not in here. Anyway, that's so smart of me. Yeah, I didn't know what I was thinking. In any case, I do have a 5 panel that I had showed last week, but it's double-sided adhesive. I don't feel, if I were being honest, and I'm gonna do that. I don't feel that 5 panel will ever be completely done. I may get the whim to work on it like you see me doing right here, with this double-sided adhesive. As you can see, I've gotten into a lot of the detail of the ground. At this point, I'll be moving up into some of the greenery. Um, and then I was going to come down and do poo. Yeah, I wanted to get the background done first, because there's going to be a lot of color blocking on poo. And so that is why you see me working on some of the confetti areas, but I did get a lot done, obviously, the 2 sessions that I've been working. So yes, 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 which is great. It's great. Uh-oh, that was me. New to streaming or looking. I clicked the button by mistake. Sorry, guys. So at this point, since it didn't come, let me see if I can log in from here and do it. But at this point, what I was trying to do was to move over from there and do the what's the weather like in your area. So today it got up to 97 degrees. Today is the last day it's going to be this close to, at least for the next 10 to 15 days, that it'll be this close to 100 degrees. It's going down. It's going to still be in the 90s, but it is going down gradually every day, for the remainder of, which I'm okay with. I'm definitely okay with it. So we will see, we will see, we will see. But uh it's so good to hear you laugh like that again. Oh, thank you so much, Sissy. Matt says I have magic potions. Oh, that's a big one for a someday project. Largest I've done though is 70 by 90. Those are big. 180 by 60. I have 2 of them. I finished and one in my stash. Are those, so I do have the big one from Dreamer Designs. I forget the name of. Let me look it up and see. But it's the one where I clicked on the wrong thing, but it is the one where they have the Christmas scene, 3-in-1. I do have that. I have quite a few of the Dreamer Designs, large ones. I have, was that the Christmas one? So let's see. And let's see. I don't know what those sizes are, but I do have them. um, and let's see. It's been raining for 2 days. Here in Maryland, it's been in the 70s the past few days, 60s at night. It's cool and rainy right now, 68. Chance of, it was 96 when the live was about to start. So it'll get down to, I think it said 80 something tonight. And then obviously it'll be back up in the 90s tomorrow. Not, not too bad. Let's see. And let's see. They have a lot of them. So the ones that I'm talking about, they are large. They are with Dreamer Designs. They're huge. And they start each of them at like 109. Those are ones I'm talking about. The really big one, that's 109. Here it is, getting ready for Christmas. Let me see if, when I do it like this. All right, I'm gonna open my phone up. That way I could really try and show it to you guys. Yes, I have one of them phones that open like a tablet. So this is the one I'm talking about. I have 2 of these. I got the other one is to grandmother's house we go. So, It's like it's huge. Is that the one you're talking about, Timmy? Timmy. And here's to grandmother's house we go. And that one also is 109. And then the other one, there's one close to it. Christmas Eve neighborhood. So those are size wise. Let me get the size on them. They huge. Again, I don't open mine once I get them. And let me pull these stats up. That way I give myself, when I do open it, that ooh ah feeling. Ooh ah. Oh, they had this one also, a church for all seasons. I didn't get that though. It was like 4 different churches. Obviously, each area surrounding it represented a season. I didn't want to be a heathen or anything like that. Getting the church scene and showing it off, and next thing you know, they like, that heathen, wasn't she just showing us a church scene last week, and now she talking about being in the parking lot getting shot up with a gun? What kind of heathenistic? Yeah, so I didn't do any of those. These are Nikki Boehm. The size on them, oh, these are 180 by 60. Shoot. 106 colors, 11 AB, 2 crystal drills. Okay. Yeah. So Nikki liked these big projects. So a lot of them are big. Her smallest ones are to grandmother's house we go. Okay, so with that said, I got that. I guess the largest I've purchased are the 180 by 60. The box is huge. Um, let's see. Mary says, I have magic potions too, Matt. Did you see the hat one in voting? It's cool. Uh-oh. I got voting the other day too. I have the enhancement pack. Nice chunk of change to be sitting because it's kind of intimidating. Oh my. Was one of the first things I bought before I knew any better. Marla says, did anyone get a Thomas Kincaid from DAC today? I want to start off by saying thank you guys all for watching me so the reason I'm saying that is because you guys know I've been whining, fussing, and crying over missing Lahaina Starlight. I get up last week, I think it was Friday morning, and I'm getting messages. Robin Pennington beat everybody to the punch. Thank you, my sweetness. But everybody that reached out to remind me that they saw Lahaina Starlight back in stock on Diamond Art Club. Thank you so very much. I love you. Yes, she did get purchased. I got a message Monday saying it was delivered to my door. I am home almost all day, and I was home when the message came through. Never received it. So here we go. I am waiting. They told me to wait 2 days. That was today. I message FedEx. They refer me to Diamond Art Club. I sent an email to Diamond Art Club's customer service. They send me back over to FedEx to formally open a claim. And then FedEx told me wait one more day. Now, Saturday morning comes along and they had new releases. And unfortunately, I didn't know this was going to happen shipping wise. So I ended up ordering 2 more diamond paintings. Not happy. Although these paintings probably weren't in the works for 2025 nor 2026. I find that I buy must haves now, things that I would be upset if I never got an opportunity later on to purchase. So these were must haves that I wanted in my art gallery. Yep, that's what we call it here, an art gallery. Somewhere I go to receive peace and zen. When I reshop my stash, it's a ooh ah, and it's almost like going on a frequent basis to an art gallery. And I appreciate all of you artists out there who help me form the art gallery that gives me the most happiness. Uh, Cheryl says, Matt, we do drill alongs, and that is one many like to do. You can see them posted. Berta did a gorgeous one, went above and beyond on the enhancements. Yes, she did. Woo, did she? So Thomas Kincaid's email comes out, and I again got messaged, hey, are you going to get any and things like that. So one, kudos to Diamond Art Club. That is a hard art collection to, get anything exclusive through because they are more commercial at this point. And they've done a great job being able to pull in Thomas Kincaid. I think he's been synonymous with every, emotional purchase that there is, whether it be cards, whether it be a line of, charger plates and things. He's well known in various genres, so kudos to them for being able to secure any type of exclusivity through his art. I'm not sure if he has I know he has I don't know if it's a repository, but I'm definitely sure it's like a representative art group that represents his estate for him. Again, kudos to him. To them. So, second, I did see, finally get to see the images and things like that. Hopefully, those weren't like my absolute must have favorites and things. So, hopefully, it just is a great, opening to the door of them receiving more of his exclusive prints and proofs. Let's see. Matt says, from just a few days ago, Mary, I never got around to going into voting. There's an email that comes out, Matt, and it just, you click a link and you go in. They had a lot in there, and you can vote. They say to vote on ones that you definitely know that you would purchase. I bought that one, but long story short, I had to throw it away. Oh, a church for all seasons. Yep, that's a big one. I thought about it, but I have landscape diamond paintings here that I haven't touched. Crafting with Mary. She's having a great conversation. She said it was a really cool magic hat, one from Genovia Art. It was so pretty. DAC posted that it was the third highest vote getter. Uh-oh. Well, there you go. I like that. I did not get any Kincaids. Beautiful, but not my style. Kincaids were mostly a lot of wide open space, and the detail was not as good as it could have been. Maybe that could be it. Obviously, I'm a sucker for landscapes. I'm pretty sure if you followed me for a while, you know that I love landscapes. And so because of that, I think that is immediately why, started coming to so many people's mind. Hey, let's check and see if she knows. I didn't. So I definitely appreciate you guys letting me know. And then after that, I could go in, look, and then make, conscious decision. Matt says, I'll check it out. Probably another one for you and Angelina to tempt me into buying way too many sparklers for. Hey, there's never too many sparklers, okay? Never, never, never. You're going to have to meet my friend, Man Bun. He'll be hanging out, especially come, January. He'll probably be doing sparkle all the way. He loves to enhance. He does a lot of full canvas enhancements and things like that. So nope. In his mind, there's never way too many sparklers. Tammy says, I'm wondering what the rendering looks like, only because of what type of artist he is. The yellow Ross is beautiful. I did like that. He has a license. I thought so. I couldn't think of what it was, but I knew that he had someone that represented like his estate and things like that. Um, Matt says, I've been on a no or low buy, so I didn't even look. I'm avoiding temptation. None of that talk around here. What is my job? I am here to enable you. I want you to be happy, and I want you to purchase, purchase, purchase. Okay? So, with that said, my little, she's not little, she's older than me, but my sister, crafting crime daily, she's gonna be opening a store at the end of the month. She does watercolor art. Make sure that you stay tuned to her, so that you can, again, I'm shamelessly out here plugging and enabling. Bye, 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 bye. Tammy says, I hope they are big enough for all the details, but I am like lots of blues, so much color blocking. I'm not a biggie on color blocking. That is why you see in this canvas right here, in case someone asks, the only reason why I'm not working on it is because the light, is playing tricks when I try and turn it on. I don't want to irritate people. But even turning it down, dimming my light pad, um, for me, it's a little annoying. Plus, I'm trying to also read. So I just wanted you guys to see how far I got, how much I've done. And yes, this is a double-sided adhesive. So I need everyone's applause, because it's not easy to get back on and to work, and go from poured glue back to double-sided adhesive. It's definitely not easy. And yes, I am having some difficulty with the drills. I have had to pull out a grinder, and grind them down. The grinder is old, and I guess I was never good at grinding anyway. So I'm over here plucking them apart. When you start to experience those kind of headaches, the first thing you do, you take a chill pill and you kind of, leave and things like that. So I've had 2 sessions since last week. Obviously, you guys see me test it and open it. I diamond painted on. I'll probably have a session tomorrow and probably another one Saturday, sometime Saturday, also just like last week, Thursday and Saturday. So there we go. But you could see the shading, you can see the ground and things like that, just to kind of show you the picture again. It's so cute. It's so cute. All righty. Let's see. Going back, I don't want to miss anything. Oh, I read that one. Tammy's talking to Cheryl. That's why I don't buy that one either. Did you buy one? Rose. I did get the river with the flowers on the sides. Matt says, bringing in the new year was my first event earlier this year and seeing his work. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming to that event. We appreciate it. Myself, J Rob, and Tima. We have definitely tried to have fun. Kicking off the new year was a bad time for me, but I definitely appreciate that everyone was able to come out and enjoy that time with us. Let's see. Besides still waters is what I picked up. Okay, y'all having a great little conversation. I'm just jumping in and out. That's the one I'm getting. Rhonda says, working on my double-sided piece alongside you. Thank you. You having a hard time grinding? Girl. So I'm telling you, I was already showing them right before you came in. I showed them that I had some drills that, once they came out, they was all look stuck together, back to back and things like that. So I had to pull out. It took me forever though. I had to go find the grinder because I haven't worked on one of these in a while. And the drills that we get when we pay a little bit more for our canvases, they're better quality. And so don't get them all, stuck together and things like that, various sizes and things as often as frequently. So Cheryl says, I think it gave the most detail and best rendering. Great taste. Okay, well, there you go. What? So you guys are having fun. And so that is where we are. We did talk about the weather. Rhonda, with you being in Canada, what is the weather like in your neck of the woods? It was 97 today. And I did show on my screen that is probably the last time that is going to be that attractive. for the rest, probably the rest of September and the rest of 2025. I did notice it's going down the rest of the week. Whoop. So the other thing that I want, we always talk about this, and I know Matt, he's on a low buy or no buy, but I gotta be me. And you guys know I love to enable. I love enabling. So I just wanted to kind of see what you guys have in your cart. And I'll go ahead and show you guys. Um, let me get back in here. I'll show you guys the canvases that I purchased this week. We did already talk about my purchase for Lahaina Starlight. Um, and I appreciate so very much. So very much. You guys were awesome in making sure I knew it's back up on the site. Get there, be square, don't miss out. I mean, I heard all of it and I really appreciate it. So I think I showed it earlier. If not, I'm going to re-show it again. This is Lahaina Starlight. And then I did turn around after I bought this, and I just couldn't resist the new releases. I like them a lot. And because I like them so much, I ended up. So this is Lahaina Starlight. And you guys know I love a landscape. I love water, and I love to see light sources because I feel like you can do so much with taking this from a 2D image to making the image on the canvas really pop with color. Obviously, we can do a lot with the sea foam. You can make water look wet. You can actually make the waves look like there's movement. You guys know I've tried these all out, and I've been successful, meaning I'm happy with the results when I've tried to do that. But it all comes from just seeing that beautiful light source. And so from the moment I saw this canvas, I'm like, oh wow, it looks huge and it looks, very detailed and things. But it was one of those must-haves. Whether I never work on it or not, it wasn't cheap. Wasn't $109, but it was not cheap. And I've been whining about it. So thank you all for reaching out to me. I had a lot of you guys who reached out. Let's see. The other canvas that I got. Um, let's see what these are. One moment. So then we had the new releases, and with the new releases, there was one called Aquamarine Fairy. And let me try and get that one up. That one you got, if I feel like that one you got to actually get in there. That one sold out early. I mean, early. I was worried that they were going to, you guys know I love butterflies and fairies. And I call myself the butterfly fairy princess. So I got these imaginary butterflies. Now, I don't think I look like her, but we look related. I'm sorry. I tried to get that out. um, I think it's the colors. I do see some customizing going on. While there's a lot of blue hues, purples, light blues, you guys know I'm a seafoam teal, jade emerald type green girl. And so I'm looking at some opportunities to infuse a little bit more of those colors into the canvas. Thank you so much, Rhonda. So, but when I seen it, oh my gosh, I just couldn't. I said, oh wow. Again, a must have for me. Not just, oh, that's cute. That's real cute. More of a, oh, I could see myself working on that. That is a gorgeous canvas. And so obviously, our buying habits change the longer that we remain in this craft and we continue to kind of try and move forward. So my buying habits have all become must-haves. Do I actually see myself working on it? The other one was called Underwater World of Serena. That was a new one also. So I'm going to kind of type that in. Um, and show you guys this. But I like this also. And here we go. And I just thought she was different. Again, the coloring hue, that had a lot to do with it, but I see a light source. So she's down in the water. I see a light source coming behind her head. I think that I would like probably to continue that light source around her right there. Her skirt, coral leaf. I like that, we can't really see legs or anything like that. Um, she looks real serene. And the water, near the bubbles and things like that, I feel like that would be a challenge because she's already underwater. So all of them would maybe be the same color hue. But I feel like it would be a challenge to make certain areas look wetter than others and things. So obviously, that's how my mind works when I start to see the canvases. For me, that's what makes them works of art. Um, you know, looking at them, see how beautiful they are, and then again, what enhancements could I make to it that brings me some zen and some peace? So, those were my two purchases from the Saturday new release. While we're doing that, what do you guys have in your carts? We talk about this every week. And I know I hear I'm on a no buy, low buy, no buy. Um, but I would like to actually hear if you could purchase, and we're coming up into that time of the year where everybody finds extra money, extra moolah, so that we can shop. Now, we probably aren't always shopping for us, which we should be, but we probably aren't always shopping for us. But challenge yourselves. It's 2025. You work hard for your money. And what you want to be able to do is spend at least a little bit of it on you. So I challenge you to find some money the same way we find money to get this extra controller, to buy that console, to get him this, whatever, we buying for special people in our lives. Um, find some money to buy something for you. And it don't have to be a diamond painting, it could be clay. It could be cross stitch, a couple cross stitch projects. You guys see, I showed you two projects that I just purchased in August for cross stitch. And the same thing is going on with me in cross stitch that's going on with me in diamond painting. I have starts, lots of them, and not as many completes. Because frogging, that means you've messed up and you now have to take all the thread out and start again. So frogging will definitely, don't miscount. That's all I can say. Don't miscount. It'll cause you to throw the whole project away. Nobody likes to frog. So obviously, that's been some passion. I did try miniatures. Um, they were okay once you kept them in a tin can. When you bring it out of the tin can, there's no way that I could ever go back. I didn't even get one full room done. I got the chair. I was trying to make a table. The table, I, I only got one or two legs of the chair done. It was crazy. Um, so I mean, I've colored. I do still color. That can be therapeutic, but you could tell your mood when you color. You see them angry zigzag type strokes on a piece of paper. Mm, don't talk to that person for a little while. Let them calm down, get some other things in their mind and things like that. When you see just a whole bunch of circles and things like that, they may not be as mindful of things that are going on. Something's definitely on their mind and things like that. So coloring sometimes, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. um, Matt says all the Mickey Bergman canvases from Captured by Radiance have been my latest intrigue. You sound like Lizzie. Lizzie loves Mikey Bergman as well. She's done 2 or 3 of his canvases, and she really enjoys the artwork, the ethereal with the the fairy wings and things. So kudos to you. I know that I believe he's got one or two on either Dreamer Designs or Diamond Art Club. I can't remember which one, but I know that their canvas is over there also. So look at you. I do agree also. Nice choice and good taste. Mary says she has two. Your first J Wall. Oh, the first J Wall. J Wall is someone who is known for a lot of confetti. So if you're someone who enjoys extreme detail, man, he has some on Dreamer too. Okay, I thought so, Mary. If you're someone who enjoys detail, J Wall is it. It's going to be a lot of confetti because just like you can see in this little roadway, we're looking for details. And the more details you get, for the canvas to stand out outside of just the viewfinder, you're going to see shading and various colors that come together to form, especially like texture on the ground, especially like um, depth and length and things like that in bushes and trees and things. Perspective, obviously we want to see things that are in perspective, so something may, in the distance it'll have more detail. I mean, close up it'll have more detail. Off in the distance, it may appear to be, small blurs of color and things like that. So J Wall definitely brings those aspects to her creativity. And if the canvas is big enough, you'll see it observed through a lot of those details. Haven't done one. Got three J Walls. Haven't done one yet. They are so pretty. They are super pretty, super confetti because of all the detail. It's a great choice. Captured by Radiance one feels like J Wall, but maybe quite so many colors. Yeah, you're gonna need those colors though, Matt. That's what, not quite so many colors. Okay. But that's what helps you with the detail. More color, the bigger the canvas, and being a square, you're gonna notice that it's gonna sharpen that image out a lot more. Because they could do the same thing in a round, but the image may not be as crisp. And it's have a J Wall as a work in progress right now. And Mary said DAC. Yes. Yes. So, we've gone through all of that. I didn't get the weather where everyone is, but it's definitely not, ridiculous yet. I did show you guys my three purchases from this week. Again, my Lahaina Starlight has gone missing. FedEx claimed they dropped it at the door. They did not. I waited the 2 days. I've reached out to not only FedEx, but Diamond Art Club. And I ordered that canvas, I think, a day or maybe 2 days before the Saturday new releases. So now I'm concerned because I'm still waiting on the Saturday new releases to come in. I will keep you guys posted, but you guys know how I feel about Lahaina Starlight. And so I wasn't happy. Not that I want that to happen to any order, but this is the one you guys have heard me crying about ever since it was released. I had it in my cart. I went and did something else. Lahaina Starlight, Cheryl, it was the one I ordered first. And then I went back for the new releases and ended up purchasing on Saturday the two that you just saw for new releases. Oh, that one is late. It wasn't late. They said it delivered to my front door, but it didn't. Um, so I've been reaching out ever since. It never came in though. Never. So, cross your fingers, pray, you know, um, hope that it just arrives. The one with the diamond art is the only one with pour glue that sells them. Company in Germany has them, but the shipping is outrageous, and double-sided tape. Yeah, I'm not sure. You could do a conversion kit though. It's a lot though. One thing I learned, I think, Rochelle as well, is we did a conversion kit last year of I believe it was a cross stitch pattern over into a diamond painting. We had the clear canvas that came, empty, and came with port glue, and then obviously you just put the image on. Um, And it's almost like cross stitch, where I said the minute that you make a mistake in your cross stitch pattern, you got a frog. But most people end up just tossing the same. That's how it is with now it's coming out, pretty, that you could see something forming from a blank canvas, because these canvases right here, you see the image. You can see the image on there and things like that. For mystery diamond paintings, you may not be able to see the image, but eventually, because of the symbols, you able to see the formation of what's on there and things. But when you are doing a actual conversion, a cross stitch conversion into a diamond painting, there's no image that you see. You are creating the image on a totally blank canvas. And because of that, it's a lot of work. It can be mentally exhausting, because you trying to make sure that you're not messing up the count and things. And just like how Rhonda was showing when she did her CB project, if you saw her pattern and what she was doing each of the lines. You definitely are doing that for the cross stitch conversion and things like that. Um, it's not pain in the butt work or anything. It's just work that you want to be detailed and things. And then the diamonds are bigger than the X's from the cross stitch pattern and things like that. So what you're seeing is formulating on your blank canvas, and it's doing so in a larger scale. So just things to think about, different crafts that we've tried. We are coming up on that time of the year where, we're shopping. Again, we're finding extra money, and we are challenging ourselves. When we find extra money this year, 2025, we going to think about us first. We're going to put us first. We're going to get what we want, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to enjoy our time that we spend on crafting. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to do things that bring smiles, peace, and zen into our life. Tammy says, I have a conversion that I've been working on for a few months now. Mary says, I don't mind DAC confetti, but I've done a couple small shop confetti and they are crazy with confetti. I don't like it that much. uh, Cheryl says, I have finished two from Germany. It was good. I do prefer poured glue, and I didn't receive their one run tester of poured glue for her art. It was not like we're used to. Maybe get in a smaller size. Yeah, yeah, smaller size. Matt says D stash DAC, but I would want the crazy confetti huge size if I was going to go for it. I agree with you there, Matt. If you're going to get started on one of her large on one of her canvases, not that it doesn't, I would go large with the crazy confetti. The detail, once you step back, it's going to be so beautiful. Trust me, it's going to be so beautiful. And then she has, her scenery and stuff. The details are crazy as it is. Then the rendering isn't as good. Going small. Yeah, the renderings aren't, they're not good. Like, you can picture the image, but like seeing it with detail, you're not going to be able to see it with detail if it goes too small, especially if it's a J-Wall. Now, if it's more of like an animated, cartoon, like this Winnie the Pooh, you can go small, and it's not going to impact as much. um get this straight. So with this image, you can go small. This is a 15 by 20. And you guys see it's coming together, and all of that is going to, because it's not as detailed. We got some shading. We're not doing a whole lot of shading for this side right here. This side's right here. Background, again, not doing a whole lot. Um, and we saw that huge D-stash and Ticket to Ride will be announced soon. So if you're doing Ticket to Ride, you'll want to make sure you get on Facebook. Cheryl does a lot of communication through Facebook with updates and things, and they have a chat as well. Crafting with Mary says, I did one from Rose Profit. It was so confetti heavy. I was losing my mind. However, it is gorgeous. It just took me longer than normal because I need breaks from it. I agree. I think that that's what was happening to me. Like, I had these dark colors that I was working on here and in here. And I'm like, those were the bad drills. Like, you got to be kidding me, you know. But I mean, when I was working down here, formulating the ground and stuff, it was definitely reminiscent. I was plugging along. Now, one thing that I will also note is that I am not multi-placing nearly as much as I'm single plucking um, on this double-sided adhesive. So I'm trying to remember, but I believe maybe my experience with multi-placing started when I started on pour glue. It's like it's not laying the way that I want it to, so it's just easier for me to single pluck. And probably back then when I started making my pens, that was back when I made the smaller little pup size, because these right here, these are curvy gals, and the curvy gals are designed to fit directly in your hand. They're just under 5 inches, about 5 inches. Um, and the little pups are 3.5 inches. And the reason that I remember making them was to make it easier for detailed areas in these smaller canvases and things. So I am noticing that, yes, the pen matters in using these. I'm really feeling the frustration behind trying to multi-place, and then I can't like kind of move my diamonds around. Right? I prefer confetti over color blocking, but it was a lot. Exactly what you mean. Rose diamond painting. Even I took a break and I love confetti. So there you go. Marquita Kiki says she loves confetti also. So if you're somebody who enjoys landscapes, you probably don't mind confetti. I don't mind confetti. I wouldn't say I love it, but what I do love is the detail that the more confetti you have, the more detail it brings. And I love when, again, you can see a canvas clearly looking at it as opposed to having to view it through a viewfinder. So those are definitely good, call outs and points. You guys definitely a great Tom. What's coming up now? If you guys have been following along with Dip in Time, she announced the beginning of September, maybe the end of August, that she was getting back into doing seed beading. And I hadn't done any seed bead projects in a long time, almost probably 2 decades. When I came back to crafting, I went straight to cross stitch, but I used to do everything. I used to candle make. I used to I had my own men's line. I used to make bath soaps, bath bombs, creams, and things like that. I had my own men's line for about 3 years between my son's birth and my daughter's birth. I was so fixated on her skin and making sure that she had smooth, skin. And my son had really pretty skin. And I thought, oh my goodness, let me do the same thing for her. And then everyone used to ask us, he was getting older and stuff. He had any marks on him, and he had beauty. They would say, well, oh, what you doing for his skin? Same thing. My husband, he had beautiful skin and things. So I had created a line, but everybody was trying to do stuff for women. We always do that. Oh, I'm gonna make it cute and boop boop boop. So I said, let me get a men's line. My father, even though he was retired, he used to hang out at this one repair facility. I called it the good old boys shop, because all his old friends and the old geezers, they would be outside the shop hanging out and things. But the ones that worked, their hands would get rough and things like that. And I remember I took some of the items I had made down and gave the items to them. And as their customers would come in, they would go rinse their hands, like, and then they point and they're filling out paperwork with, clean, soft hands instead of looking all rough. And so other men started asking, oh, how'd you get that off that quick and things? So from there, I had a little following and things. But my daughter ended up being born, and she was a terror. And so again, I've done everything at some point, and I tried to make a living off of all of those ideas also. which, that brings joy to crafting. Definitely allows me to be able to replenish my supply. uh, Matt says, yeah, it is going to be a fun one. Matt says, I like everything. So I've enjoyed having multiple whips, confetti, color blocking, round, square, and different color palettes. I do like different color palettes. I'm not sure why, but I'm not fond of it. Doesn't bring me joy to have a lot of reds or oranges. And what am I working on? Reds and oranges. Same thing with my pens. I don't have a lot of pens with red, orange, yellowish colors in there. Not sure why, but when I work on them, they're definitely not the color grouping that kind of brings me the most peace and stuff. So I kind of get away. You crocheted. I definitely crocheted. Cheryl talked me into, she sent me in the middle of the night, probably 5 or 6 years ago. I get this message, and they had this all this yarn and stuff on sale, Lion brand. um and Cheryl was like, they got great colors and things like that. And I'm like, you know me, oh my gosh, it don't take much to enable me. I have a craft budget, a monthly craft budget. If it hasn't been depleted, then it's a great idea. When I'm not depleting my craft budget, I'm probably using the money to go to retreats and things like that. So, psychology of color, red is associated with intense emotions. I definitely believe that, Rhonda, because reds and orange, they do something to me. So a lot of that's probably why you see me get peace and zen out of working landscapes, because it's more like green is my favorite color. It's more greens. It's more, when there are flowers, they're pretty pinks, purples, yellows. They're vibrant and things like that. So yes, you were the enabler on that one. That is true. Big old box of yarn. And so my goal was, everybody was talking about doing temperature blankets and things like that. I live in the Mojave Desert. I don't know even why I thought it was a good idea. Um we got one temperature. We got two. We got two temperatures, hot and not hot. Come on now. And so I decided I'm gonna join this temperature blanket like everybody else. So we kind of stayed in the same 10-degree hue almost all year long. There was no reason. So I got all this yarn. it's, it's sitting there. It's got a nice drawer, because I ended up buying this drawer system to accommodate the yarn. Took them out of the box. So I got a big box. It was huge. It was like $30 for big boxes. I think I got two big boxes of yarn. I didn't want to run out. That's who I am. Whenever I get a new project that I can't wait to work on, I make sure I buy everything, supplies for 2 decades, just so I can make sure I don't have to sit it down and wait for something to come in. So with that said, when Cheryl sends me this middle of the night SOS on Lion Brand, oh my God, I got hooks for days. I got hooks for days, Cheryl. So she sends me this SOS on a sale. I'm like, let me, like it's the end of the world. Oh my God, let me get two then. I got yarn. Crochet is probably the most cost efficient craft, because you only really need, you can do a counter and you can put the pin clips in the market, but do you need it? No. Is it easy? It's easy to help you so you don't lose count of anything, but at the end of the day, you just need a hook and some yarn and you off and running. um and so I overbought on that, but yep, she was responsible for that. Crashly is responsible for the clay. Her and Rebecca for the miniature disaster, if you guys did miniatures. Paint by number, Billy and Crashly. Oh my gosh, if you guys done the paint by number, yeah, I'm taking y'all all back. Time you enjoying all of these enabled moments. So I say this because my newest enabler for 2025 is Rhonda. Woo! Rhonda from Dip in Time. She started seed beating. And again, haven't done it in almost 2 decades. And so She was talking about getting back into seed beading and doing some projects, some bracelets and things. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's a craft I haven't done in a long time. So I'll join her. I will look up some stuff. When I tell you, I probably got $300 worth of stuff in my cart. $300 worth of stuff. And I'm glad that she reported today. She showed you some of the seed bead projects that came in. And not all of the projects that she's receiving, have the best, items that are supposed to come with it. The instructions aren't great, color hues are a little off. And then the beading, which helps if you're doing like a project with multiple colors. You definitely need to have the right size beads and the right types of seed beads. There's tubular beads, round beads, and then there's the flat, what they call clay beads and things like that. So having the right type of, bead does help, the project form and things like that. Some work to do on some of the projects that she showed. So hopefully those will get taken care of right away. Rhonda says latch hook rugs. I have 5 kits. If you if she go enabling me again. Who was somebody tried to get me to do? I think that was Melissa B. Craft with me. I think in 2020 she wanted to do latch hook projects, and I'm like, let's try it. I don't know what happened, why I never did, never purchased anything, but there we go, another craft on the horizon for us to try and see. Matt says the DAS UK potions seems it's going to be popular. I'm uncertain on doing a temp project yet. Yeah, temperature. If you live in an area where you get a variety of temperatures throughout your year, Matt, please go ahead and do it because it's reminiscent of, especially when you see the color that represents that grouping of temperatures. So this 10-degree range, you'll probably remember, oh, I remember that I was sitting by the fire when I did this burnt brown. Oh, I remember it was raining that day. Yeah, we had some greenery popping. So it is probably a good way to kind of remember the temperature for that space and that span. The unfortunate part is, again, I live in the Mojave Desert. In the desert, we really have one little like grouping of temperatures. Now it will get cool, probably starting around Christmas. And then maybe by the second, third week of January, it's climbing back up. So so we'll see. But temperature blanket probably wasn't a good idea for me. Get them out to you. That is going to be a fantastic day when you do. Probably. Made any pins lately? Marla, I did start back last week. I kind of talked about, I lost sensitivity and such due to some medication and things that I was on. I did not know that that could even happen. So I am grateful that I had some great testers out there, some purchasers who were giving me, real time feedback and things like that. I remember I asked Cheryl, and then I also followed up with my doctors, and I'm like, hey, listen, I'm getting reports that, these craft projects that I work on, they can feel like bumps, ridges, they can feel glitter through the resin, and I don't feel it. Everything feels smooth, and they did tell me that yep, it's a side effect. You can lose touch sensitivity. At one point I'm, just bleeding. Like, what happened? I cut myself with a knife and things. So thankfully, my touch and my sensitivity is coming back. And so I am back crafting. If you can see behind me, I have a new craft area. So that's a resin box, the 2 white boxes. And that's my pen station, foil, where I could put up to 20 pins in and things. And this was new for my little craft room, but what I did was I created, separated everything out. So the goal is going to be that I can just grab, put it in a whatchamacallit, and then ship it out. That's going to be the goal. Hopefully, on my way. But I am crafting. I am smiling a whole lot more. I'm doing a whole lot better. So crochet does use a lot more yarn than knitting and loom knitting. I did try that. I tried that at the third retreat that I went to. Tried loom knitting. I didn't have a loom. So someone loaned me their loom and I'm doing good. And then they asked for the loom back. Like, what did you think I was going to do when you loaned the loom to me? So I I frogged. I had to frog everything. But it was nice, we got to talking while I was working the loom. We was talking, chit chat, and having a good time. And then it was like, okay, well, can I have my loom now? What did you? Why did you loan it to me? So that kind of put a damper on some things. Mary says I'm doing the potions temp chai from scratch. I started at the beginning of this year. Oh my goodness. Not from scratch. Woo, go ahead. Gail says, I just sat back and watched you guys with those miniatures. I wasn't even going there. Girl, the funny part is it was supposed to be a sister's craft, right? So it was me, Rebecca, and Crashly. And Honey Bunny was like, don't call me. Don't ask no question. Don't expect it to show up. I'm not touching. She want nothing to do with miniature. She was the smart one. Crashly was done in 3 days, and that left all the pressure on me and Rebecca. That left all the pressure on Rebecca. That's all I could say. I was done. Rebecca was turning pages. I'm like, we going that far? I'll herald question. That was horrible. Um, Dipping Time says Rochelle, I bling it up, wants to do CB. Yeah, she did tell me that also. So we got to get her. She will definitely do it. And Rochelle is worse than me. When I tell you that I will go out and buy everything, Rochelle gonna have all of everything for this project and the next 25. Whether she finishes this one or the next one. And if she's really done and she don't plan on going back to it ever, you're going to get all of the supplies in a bag at the next retreat. Rochelle don't play. If you enable her and you talk her into something and she's done with it, you getting all the supplies. So I hope you're not done with it. I remember telling Rebecca, you better hope she didn't buy a miniature. uh, oh, my potion bottles are all special drills. Yep, Matt. uh, can't even go there all the way too tiny, so not doing tiny pieces other than diamond painting. I'm old now, so easier to work with yarn. It is easier to work with yarn. Marquita Kiki says I do latch hook rugs also. Oh wow. Um, Matt says PA, so I get a good variation. Colorado has too much weather changing, so it'll be hard doing a temp diamond painting. Um, you could do a crochet or you could do a cross stitch. So a lot of the temp alongs that I have worked, there's been a variety. People are doing a variety of things, not just diamond painting, not just crochet. Crochet probably would be the easiest, especially if you're doing it daily. If you're doing it daily, just be ready to have 365 lines of various temperatures. But if you're doing it weekly, obviously that's 52 lines. What does that look like? Are you doing double crochet, triple crochet? Are you doing a pattern all the way across? But those would be the differences, and that would make a nice size blanket for a bed. And so that's what a lot of people are doing, but I've seen the cross stitch ones, and because they're smaller, those come out gorgeous depending on what pattern and things. So I think Matt being in PA, getting a good variation of weather, he would be a great candidate because he does already have the observance of 4 seasons. And then within the 4 seasons, spring is probably, something else because, yeah, especially if you're in the mountains of Pennsylvania. um, More lovely, another birthday in a few days, and retirement coming up soon. So, nope. Oh, congratulations on your retirement. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I hope you regain all the sensitivity in your hands and your fingers. It's coming back, Marla. It is. I'm so excited. I'm starting to feel a lot more stuff. The other day, I poked my hand the other day and said, "Oh," and then it took a couple seconds. And I was like, "Wait, wait, wait." I felt that. I will be taking off like a bird in a way starting in 2026. There you go, Ray. We could chat on that, Tia. No worries. I got you all. A for effort. Thank you. Rochelle will do that tenfold and be very organized while she's at it. Yup. She'll have her little, what she gonna work on and things. Anyone go for card embroidery? So was it last year? Was it last year, 2024? At the Lone Star Retreat, there's a lot of cross stitchers. They do come to the Lone Star Retreat. It's usually like 50-50. And there were several who were doing card embroidery, and we had a cross stitch vendor who also had. I have two card embroideries. I think those are gorgeous, so that's a good idea, to try. Can you do a temperature scarf? Oh, that's a good idea, a temperature scarf. I don't crochet or cross stitch. Cross stitch is probably the easiest craft, I want to say. I would, unless you're doing a lot of fractionals and back stitching, but even those become easy. Cross stitch is probably because it's just X's. You just come up, down, come up, down. You make an X and then you move on to the next one. So that would be easy. And you're putting the X in the box where like a drill would go. How about a loom to knit? Ooh, I don't know about a loom to knit. That sounds like a lot. Now, Rhonda, our resident mathematician, she has been doing some conversions from like either cross stitch or diamond painting patterns into seed bead. I don't think that would be hard. I think it would just be a matter of knowing like where you're putting the lines and things at. I obviously would bring Cheryl Gearhart's in, um, and I would help her check my math. But I remember I did so much math for my conversion. Um, Rochelle bought a jaded gem that was all like the conversion, everything, and then she swapped out and put her special drills and things like that in. I try to do the same, but I was on a specialized kit. Like she bought a whole kit that was already made for hers. I had like my canvas a little separate. There she is. That's Rochelle right there, y'all. Her ears was burning. We didn't. We have talked her up. I'm at the retreat before the retreat. Oh, well, tell everybody I said hello. I'm sorry I'm missing out. Obviously, I am normally there sitting right beside you, and we kicking it until 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Um, Missing everybody, but I'm in a great space. Look at my face. I'm smiling. I'm laughing. And we're having a good time going over. Girl, look at what I've been doing. Don't laugh too hard at me, but I am working on a double-sided adhesive. Definitely working on a double-sided adhesive. And I was telling everyone, I started off talking about the challenges that I've had, especially with the diamonds, unfortunately. Um, I do remember, 2018 really well now. Thank you. So I do. I remember 2018 really well now after, revisiting. And I've gotten a lot done. I just opened this on last week's show. Give Bert a big hug. Tell her I said, I know she already got my birthday wish, but tell her I said, happy birthday. I hope it's a great one. I hope y'all have a ball, but not too much fun, because I know I'm gonna feel, especially when everybody start posting their pictures, that nostalgia normally hits and things, especially 4 o'clock in the morning when you guys stand up to shake your booties and you do a little two-step dance because your butts have fallen asleep. um, so we are talking about enabling people to do new crafts. And while you are there at the retreat, before the retreat, new craft, we want you to rein in on seed bead projects. We also had card embroidery. I could see Rochelle at least looking into card embroidery. Just talking about Berta's magic potion. That's right. Berta has a magic potion that she did with all the enhancements, and we did talk about that earlier as well. Um, the stars of the show. Look at that. Y'all ears must have been burning. Rochelle, have you picked your seed bead project yet? So make sure, Rochelle, if you are still interested in doing a seed bead project, that you go back and watch Dippin' Time show tonight. She did unbox some projects that she had came in, and they are for the seed beads that we're doing, and insightful. Obviously, it's causing me to make sure that when I do get my projects and stuff in, that they're good. Everything is good. You see the distinction in the size of the beads. You have enough beads to create the shape of whatever project you're kind of working on. And then I don't know if Cheryl is there with you, but she is doing Rhonda's doing some mathematic genius work over here by converting some cross stitch diamond painting patterns for her seed bead projects. And so we did talk about our conversion from last year when we converted cross stitch patterns into diamond paintings. This is Shelly. I am the biggest enabler. Well, sounds like a lot of people are going to get a seed bead. But yes, she is. She is a huge enabler, and she will try. Rochelle will try everything. She will. Now, if she don't like it, we talked about this. She bringing all the supplies back to the person that enabled her. So that's why you hear me seed bead, SEED. If somebody can type that in, and then beads, BEAD, seed bead project. You have a new, there we go. She says she has a new project. What's the new project? Uh-oh. So yes, seed bead projects. You can do purses, you can do earrings, you can do bracelets, you can do cute little animals to make, for keychains and purse fobs and things like that. Yes, seed bead. Um, and so, oh, I saw it on Different Times channel. Yep. So she was the one that mentioned it. She mentioned it towards the end of August or beginning of September. And when she mentioned it, I said, I'm going to join you. I'm going to look, I'm going to find me a project. And obviously I'm going to, because I haven't done it. I have some new projects, Tia. I will, okay, message me on Friday. I can't wait. Obviously, we're gonna drum up some fun. We are coming into that time of the year where, again, I told you guys last hour, we are going to take 2025, and we always end up finding money for our loved ones. How many times we found money for these toys? We found money for controllers, for gaming consoles. We found money to buy dice for his car. Everybody, we're going to find money for us, and we're going to have fun crafting and bringing peace and zen into our own lives. And we're going to do that. But I know that you guys like Matt. Matt's on a no buy, low buy, stop buying. He's on one of those. But coming into this time of the year, we just find money. And so we're going to enable Matt to find money and buy himself not only a canvas, but he likes to enhance, and he likes confetti. So we gonna enable him to get Mikey Bergman from Captured by Radiance. And just so you know, Rhonda, She is an affiliate. She has a code. So when you shop, I think it's Dipper 24. But when you shop, Captured by Radiance, make sure you enter the code. That way you can get a discount. Lizzie also, she is an affiliate. And Lizzie, she has a code also, Lizzie 22. So that's Captured by Radiance. We are enabling you. Find some money, make yourself happy, and then get over to DP with Sparklers and buy you some additional enhancements. Why? Because we are trying to make sure. There we go, Dipper 20. I was right. I was right. ah, writing pattern from an old stitch in knitting, but for the loom. Oh no. Oh my, so much matching and testing and rematching, retesting, still working on it. See, those math problems that, you and Rhonda are working on, Cheryl, I would just hand those over to Cheryl Gerhardt's. Hey, new bestie, and I would beg her. I need your, mathematical wizardry here. Um, trying to do this, and I'm taking it from here, and I'm trying to put it there. I've never worked on a loom. I've always freehanded my seed bead projects. I used to make earrings. I used to make little purses to match, and I've made bracelets. And the reason was we would then create these gifting items. So we would put in bling and things like that, and we would send them off to troops. And the troops would then be able to go through items that we sent, and they could resend these as gifts to love. Because they didn't have, if they were deployed, a lot of times they were limited in their ability to be able to shop and buy um, good fun items for loved ones, moms, grandmoms, nieces, daughters, significant other, at the time, it was internet. It wasn't a lot of internet. But there were ways that they could have gotten something for a significant other, girlfriend or a wife. But these make great gifts to give to other relatives, aunts, grandmas, nieces, cousins, cousin-in-laws, things like that. Mathing, not matching. Okay, so yeah, we got to make sure that math is math, and it doesn't do that for me all the time. So I would just want Cheryl to back up my numbers. I remember doing derivatives, and I'm like, wait, I was getting derivatives and logarithms, and oh Lord, I'll never forget all of that. So math has to math for me, and it doesn't always. I always need that, just, I guess somebody to come along and give me that confidence and that reassurance. Big sponsor for Ticket to Ride event is also Captured by Radiance. Whoop whoop! Matt's gonna love that because he has 3 or 4 with Captured by Radiance that I feel like he has his eye on, and we just got to get him over the hump. Don't worry about it, Matt. Stay tuned. We're gonna get you through this. We'll get you through. Just recently subbed to Rhonda as well. Whoop! Dipping Tom. Make sure you hit up my girl Rochelle. She is Bling It Up, and have some fun. We will keep you enabled. That's an awesome idea. I love making things and no one to give you that appreciate that. So we talked about that just before you came in. We talked about what we do once we get these crafts completed. Once we finish this double-sided adhesive, this puppy is going somewhere, okay? It's not just going to sit here in a book that I flip through. I do that before I open them and before I work on them. That's my, gallery and stats. But once I work on them, it's got to go, got to make room for other completions. So what do? We give them away. How many people gift their completed projects? Like I said, I filled up all the rooms in my brother's house. He had 3 bathrooms. I had paintings on all of the He had 3 bathrooms. I had paintings on the wall. The master bathroom. They love Disney. So I know that, if you followed me for a while, you remember seeing me do some Disney projects and stuff. Those went to my brother, and those paintings was on the walls in their bathroom. Then they had like a guest bathroom when we first come in and things like that. I had, some standard, I think I had, what's the guy with the painting with the face? Goodness gracious, you see it on everything. When people talk about art, it's the first thing that you see. It's gonna come to me, but it'll be the middle of the night. So I had a couple of his his canvases in their bathroom. Then they had a bathroom down the hall that was shared between the kids' bedrooms and things like that. And I filled up all kind of canvases in there. After I got their bathrooms taken care of, I got to fill the rest of the house up. We got a dining room, we got a kitchen, we got a living room. What we doing? You know, and then we got bedrooms. That's just my brother. Now we got to move over from there. I got a mom, I got an auntie, I got cousins, besties. So I'm pretty sure the same thing, you know, goes for you guys. When you first start a craft and you get good at it and you got a quality product that you've completed, y'all getting these gifts. And that's why a lot of times we can't craft with relatives. My bestie live in Canada. I can't craft with anybody that stay here because they go like when Man Bun and I, you guys know me and him met at work and we had a lot of the same friends. So I can't give them a gift because he gonna give that same friend group gifts also. So we got to fill up our family and things like that. Tuesday is mine. So many Libras. Everybody, well, congratulations to who all have birthdays. Again, Berta is really celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. There we go. Not minding the math, but then it has to be redone. Yep, that's called frogging when it has to be redone. Rochelle was a big winner for them last year, and this year was a big effort for captures, grand prize, one or two of them anyway. Where did you place yours? She's asking Rochelle where she placed hers. So um Big and Bug. She bear out Tima and many others too. She beat out Tima and many others too. Oh, that's my girl, Tima. So true. Last year, my first diamond painting, everybody got a diamond painting for Christmas. That's right, Gail Van Gogh. I couldn't think of his name. Thank you so very much. Yes, Van Gogh. He got there. Oh my gosh, I did so many of those. I didn't want to do another one of his at all. Like, is that all we have when it comes to art? But I started on my mantle above my fireplace. That's where it's at, on her mantle above the fireplace. So Van Gogh, I started out my diamond painting, you know, and I love his artistry before diamond painting. So that's how I ended up with them in my stash. But I'm telling you right now, when you do so many of them, don't give me another Van Gogh at all. I probably wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even, if it was $1, I wouldn't even buy it. You are good. TMI typing stinks. Rochelle, she's saying, could you please post a picture of it in Ticket to Ride? The one that's above your, on your mantle above your fireplace. That's a good place. So yeah, and like Matt said, so true. First year, everybody got a diamond painting, you know. So then we evolve, right? We evolve, and we start working on ones that, you know, matter to us. Like I worked on ones that I thought, oh, this is cute. Oh, oh, that's cute too. Oh, that's cute. But something that I worked on that I said, this, I could see this on my wall. I could see this in my house. I very rarely had those. I was in the cute phase. Now I look at them like, one, I gotta have it in my collection. Two, when I do work on it, it's definitely something that I can see going on my walls. So our diamond painting, our love for crafting, it evolves, the, you know, as we continue to do it. So when I get back home, Cheryl, I will get it to you. So that's what we doing. That's what you guys have to look forward to. You're gonna see me making sure that you are enabled. We want you to find money to purchase a craft or a canvas for yourself. And the reason is because we want you to bring peace and zen back into your own lives. You deserve it. You guys out here working hard. You have found money to take care of everyone else's wins. And that's wants, interests, and needs. Now we want you to take care of you. So what that said, we gonna end here. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Next week, I will come back again for the remainder of September, you will see me working on a revisiting a double-sided adhesive. The rationale behind this, I don't know what's going on, but oh, here it is. The rationale behind this was it was a challenge. Last year, Lizzie challenged me to complete a canvas. If you guys were subscribed in and you followed along, you know that my completion was paint gem. And paint gems are probably half of this. And Lizzie wasn't happy. I did two, not one, two paint gems. And I felt like the canvas, all of the grids that had a pattern on it, they were all completed. And because of that, that was a completed canvas. And I did two of them. In any case, I took the win because she never qualified what a completed canvas was, just that I needed to do one. And so I felt like that's it. I won. I completed the canvas. I'm done. And to put a cherry on top, I finished the second one. And it was by the end of 2024. So coming into September, my challenge to Lizzie for 2025 was to revisit her double-sided adhesive stash, to select a canvas, and to work on that canvas. Now she's got to complete. I didn't say I was going to complete mine. What I said was that I would try to join her and that I would show you guys some of the items that I had purchased. Obviously, this was 2017, 2018, and I think my last package arrived at the beginning of 2019. So I did go back in time, and during that time, you know, we had an era, ERA, an era of time called Drillmageddon. So I believe that these could be as a result of that because I've already shared with you guys the horrible drills and some of the headaches that I've had. uh, uh, she said, awesome. Thanks, Rochelle. I know that will be appreciated by many. Now, Tia, find a hook and use that yarn. Yup, I got to figure that out. I got 2 whole boxes of yarn. Trill talked me into getting 5 or 6 years ago. It's still brand new, untouched. Some of it anyway. Rhonda says progress is a win. I agree. Progress is definitely a win. Cannot blame her on that one, Tia. They are baby canvases. They are, but I completed a canvas when she didn't qualify a size. So I took the win. Thank you. You work within your means. I love that, Rhonda. I did. I worked within the means. That was the capacity that I had. I worked within it and I was happy. uh, Tia has full size paintings to be sure. I do. We just went over. Apparently, I have a 180 by 60. I didn't even realize it was that big. I have 3 of them. Can you believe that? Um, that one right there is pretty, and it's still sealed, brand new in the box. It's just gonna be pretty because I didn't realize it was that much, and I don't know if I'll ever get to it. I know I won't ever get to it. I'm being honest. um, but with that said, it is nice revisiting. You know, I definitely feel like I'm back in 2018 doing this canvas. I almost broke my wrist earlier because one of the things that you cannot do is if you put a diamond down, you can't slide it around on one of these double-sided adhesives. So I put the diamond and thought I could just move it and almost, like I said, almost that's right, Cheryl. I feel like that too. And there wasn't much that she could because I was like, I'm taking the L. I'm gonna take the win. Sorry, you got to take the L. You didn't qualify. She didn't. She never qualified. And it wasn't until the canvas was done she was like, no, too late, too late. uh, if y'all can't get her out of Canada and send her to Vegas, I would love you guys. We would have a ball, and I promise you, we would record all of our shenanigans and send it off to you guys. We did all night lives. Had so many. Did you guys go to Cheryl? I mean, not Cheryl's. Did you guys go to Rochelle's 12-hour live last week? She's something else, boy. She had a schedule. She had a schedule. She was taking breaks. Like, all right, guys, I'm gonna pause right here. I'm like, she's serious. Like, I tried my hardest. Rhonda, yes, Rhonda was there. I tried my hardest. I kept falling asleep. I was in here. I was over. I call it my cross stitch area. You can see the pillow and everything. So it's basically it's my cross stitch area. And I was over. I was supposed to be in cross stitching, but I wasn't doing anything. I had the phone in my hand, and oh Lord, you could tell Tia worked for an insurance company. She found that loophole. I sure did. I found the loophole and I took the win because she never qualified. And I remember just like I did this year. I remember saying, okay, I just got to complete it. Yes, that's it. Just one. Yes. She never said, but it has to be. And I said, okay, got it. By the end of the year, got it. And so, if you guys watched our Christmas premieres, we usually do Christmas premieres for people who are home alone, lonely. They get an opportunity to kind of meet a group of content creators. You hear different stories. Everyone does something different. It's such a nice variety, and it gives them a way of being able to just have something to look forward to, especially, your kids have other things going on. They're adults and things like me. I find myself in the midst of a transition where both my babies no longer need me. But they've become viable roommates that can pay their share. So I have some solace there. So if you guys caught the Christmas premieres, I did show on my video my completion. I felt good. I felt accomplished. Uh, so moving over from there, I definitely had a great night tonight, laughing, chuckling, kind of revisiting 2018. Hopefully, you guys had some fun. I know that I told you guys my job here is to enable you. Hopefully, you guys will allow us to enable you. We talked about Capture by Radiance. We have Dipper 24. If you make a purchase, make sure you enter that into the code so you can experience a discount, or Lizzie 22. So you again can experience a discount. I'm an affiliate of Dreamer Designs. We definitely showed you guys earlier this year. I bought my entire shopping cart. I had 8 canvases in there. And you guys will see me from time to time. I'm always trying to enable you, asking you what's in your cart. And once you tell me, I'll try and help you get it. So we're going to find money, and you guys are going to get those shopping carts. We have Mikey Bergman up. It's in the shopping cart for Matt, and we're going to help Matt find some money to get some peace and zen going his way. Other than that, you guys will be able to catch me Saturday morning as me and Lizzie's Morning Laughs. Definitely come out. It does start 7 a.m. Pacific, but that's 10 a.m. Eastern if you guys want to join us. So, we have a lot of laughs and things like that. Lizzie tries to keep me contained while, I try to do the same. Keep her contained. She's she's a spitfire some days, so I have to calm her down. Everyone's saying good night later. They need you in different ways. That's right. They need me in different ways. Later I'll off to pull a night of diamond painting. Muttnut, good luck to you, diamond painting. Well, as you guys know, I took the early retirement package, so I don't have anything that's kind of pulling me. I don't have to clock in or do anything like that. But I will probably be out tomorrow working on some extra fares and things like that. You guys know I do have a small independent business that I run, a rideshare business. And I've added a couple other contracts on. I added a foster care contract on where I transport kids who unfortunately have left their home school to be in foster care. And while they're temporarily placed somewhere else, the system does want them to still feel some sort of normalcy. And that normalcy comes from them still, getting transported back to their home school and things. Because I'd already had like a government security clearance from working at USAA, and I also, am licensed as a PI. You have to be, licensed in some states as a private eye to investigate. And so obviously when I would investigate for the insurance company, that license came in handy. So that all, helped enable me to be able to obtain the contract. And so I only took on a small bit. I obviously don't want to stack my day, and I definitely don't want to get to a point where I feel like I'm punching another clock. So tomorrow is one day, and then I'm going to add a couple more days on. Wish me luck in that venture. I think it's definitely a great need. And it ties directly into my other contract. You guys know I used to do court reporting, on the steno machine. And so when there were times where I needed extra money when my kids were young, that's one of the things that I did. Also, I did the court pleadings, and then the police reports, the summary reports from when they went out. Thank you, Gail. Yes, definitely one day at a time. Not wanting to take on too much, and I feel like because I've been a mom and things like that, there's definitely some compassion and things there that I can extend to, kind of help out in this situation. So that's what I've been up to. That's where, I'm headed. And I do have a new like zeal and zest for life. So as long as I keep smiling and feeling the way I feel, and my touch and my sensitivity is coming back. So no more cuts, no more bleeding hands, and not knowing where they're coming from. I love that. Other than that, you guys have a great rest of your evening. Have fun diamond painting for the rest of the night. Thank you all for coming out. Hopefully, I'll see you guys Saturday morning on Morning Laughs with Tia and Lizzie, or Lizzie and Tia. Good night.